In recent years, the Filipino diaspora has expanded significantly, with millions of Filipinos seeking opportunities in foreign lands. Among the countries hosting substantial Filipino populations are Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. While many find success and stability, a distressing number face homelessness and precarious living conditions. This video delves into the underlying causes, personal stories, and possible solutions for this pressing issue. So, here's the list of 10 countries with the most Filipino homeless abroad. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment your thought. Here we go. Number 10. New Zealand. New Zealand is home to a growing Filipino population. According to the 2018 census, over 72,000 Filipinos reside in the country, with the majority concentrated in Auckland, 32,850 individuals, and Canterbury, 13,743 individuals. They contribute significantly to sectors like healthcare and agriculture. Extent of homelessness. New Zealand has a total homeless population of 102,123 people, with various ethnic groups affected. While specific data on homeless Filipinos is limited, anecdotal evidence highlights cases of jobless and homeless Filipinos living in dire conditions. For instance, some Filipinos have been reported living in container vans due to job loss and exploitation. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Exploitation by employers. Reports indicate that some Filipinos arrive on work visas but face exploitive conditions that lead to job loss and eventual homelessness. High cost of living. Housing affordability is a significant issue in New Zealand. Migrants earning low wages struggle to secure stable housing. Lack of social support. Without strong community networks or access to government assistance, many migrants are left vulnerable during crises. Government and community responses. Government initiatives. New Zealand's Ministry of Housing has programs addressing homelessness, such as emergency housing and public housing allocations. However, these initiatives often do not specifically target migrant populations. Filipino community support. Filipino organizations in New Zealand play a crucial role in assisting homeless compatriots by providing temporary shelter and resources. Number 9. Australia. Filipino community in Australia. Australia hosts one of the largest Filipino communities globally, with over 408,000 Filipinos residing there as of 2021. They are primarily employed in healthcare, education, and service industries. Extent of homelessness. Australia's homeless population exceeds 122,494 individuals, with culturally diverse groups disproportionately affected. While data specific to Filipinos is scarce, studies suggest that migrants from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds face higher risks of secondary homelessness, overcrowded housing, or temporary accommodations. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Employment instability. Many Filipinos work in sectors prone to economic fluctuations or precarious contracts. Cultural barriers. Language difficulties and unfamiliarity with Australian systems can prevent access to housing services. High housing costs. Urban areas like Sydney and Melbourne have skyrocketing rental prices that strain low-income workers. Government and community responses. Specialist homelessness services. Australia offers services targeting homelessness through emergency shelters and transitional housing programs. Non-profit organizations. Groups like the Center for Multicultural Youth provide tailored support for migrants at risk of homelessness. Number 8. Singapore. Current state of homelessness. Singapore has a relatively low homeless population compared to its wealth and development. As of 2024, the estimated number of homeless individuals is around 1,036, which translates to approximately 9 per 100,000 residents. Despite this small figure, the presence of homelessness in such a prosperous nation raises questions about social equity. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Economic hardship. Many Filipinos work in low-wage jobs that do not provide sufficient income to cover living expenses. Family conflicts. Issues such as divorce or domestic violence can lead to homelessness. Health issues. Illness or disability can result in job loss, making it difficult to maintain housing. Lack of affordable housing. The high cost of living in Singapore limits access to affordable housing options for low-income workers. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Filipinos experiencing homelessness often face stigma and isolation. Many live in temporary shelters or on the streets, struggling to find stable employment while navigating a complex social support system. For instance, some individuals have reported sleeping in parks or public spaces due to a lack of affordable accommodation options. Support systems and government initiatives. The Singaporean government has implemented various measures to address homelessness. Transitional shelters. These provide temporary housing for those in need, with priority given to families. Social services. Organizations such as Catholic Welfare Services offer assistance through food programs and job training. Long-term solutions. The Housing and Development Board is exploring innovative housing solutions tailored for vulnerable populations. Despite these efforts, challenges remain, particularly for undocumented migrants who may be reluctant to seek help due to fear of deportation. Number 7. Malaysia. Current state of homelessness. Malaysia has faced increasing rates of homelessness, particularly among migrant workers. The exact number of homeless individuals is difficult to ascertain due to the transit nature of many migrants. However, estimates suggest that there are tens of thousands living without stable housing. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Economic exploitation. Many Filipinos work as low-wage laborers or domestic workers and face exploitation that can lead to job loss and homelessness. Legal status issues. Undocumented migrants are especially vulnerable. They often lack access to social services and are at risk of arrest or deportation. Natural disasters. Events such as floods can displace families and exacerbate existing vulnerabilities. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Filipino migrants in Malaysia often live in precarious conditions, with many staying in overcrowded shelters or makeshift accommodations. Reports indicate that some may resort to living on the streets when they cannot afford rent. The lack of a robust support system makes it challenging for them to reintegrate into society after experiencing homelessness. Support systems and government initiatives. While Malaysia has made strides in addressing homelessness through various non-governmental organizations, NGOs, the support for migrant workers remains limited. NGO efforts. Organizations like the Malaysian Red Crescent Society provide essential services such as food distribution and temporary shelter. Government programs. The Malaysian government has launched initiatives aimed at providing affordable housing. However, these often do not specifically target migrant populations. Number 6. Qatar. Current state of homelessness. Qatar has a population of approximately 2.7 million, with around 236,000 Filipinos residing there, making them one of the largest expatriate groups in the country. Despite its wealth, Qatar faces challenges related to homelessness among migrant workers. The exact number of homeless individuals is difficult to ascertain, but it is estimated that thousands of Filipinos are affected. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Kafala system. The kafala sponsorship system ties workers' legal status to their employers, making it difficult for them to change jobs or leave abusive situations without risking deportation. This system can lead to exploitation and homelessness when workers lose their jobs. Economic exploitation. Many Filipinos work in low-wage jobs and face delayed or unpaid wages, pushing them into precarious living situations. High recruitment fees. Many migrants incur significant debt due to exorbitant recruitment fees paid to secure employment, which can lead to financial instability and homelessness. Lack of affordable housing. The high cost of living in Qatar exacerbates the housing crisis for low-income workers who struggle to find affordable accommodation. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Filipinos experiencing homelessness in Qatar often face stigma and isolation. Many live in labor camps or temporary accommodations provided by employers, while others may end up on the streets if they lose their jobs or face eviction from shared housing. Reports indicate that some homeless individuals resort to sleeping in public spaces or seeking refuge in mosques when they cannot find shelter. Support systems and government initiatives. The Qatari government has introduced some labor reforms aimed at improving conditions for migrant workers, including allowing workers to change jobs without employer permission and setting a minimum wage. However, many challenges remain. Limited access to support services. Many undocumented migrants fear seeking help due to their legal status. Community organizations. Various NGOs and community organizations provide assistance through food programs and temporary shelters for those in need. Number 5. Kuwait. Current state of homelessness. Kuwait has a population of around 4.5 million, with an estimated 250,000 Filipinos residing there. Like Qatar, Kuwait faces challenges related to homelessness among its migrant population. The exact number of homeless individuals is difficult to determine, but reports indicate that many Filipinos live in precarious conditions. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Labor exploitation. Similar to Qatar, many Filipino workers face exploitation and abuse from employers, leading to job loss and homelessness. Legal restrictions. The kafala system also operates in Kuwait, limiting workers' rights and making it difficult for them to advocate for better conditions or leave abusive situations. Economic pressures. High living costs combined with low wages make it challenging for many migrant workers to secure stable housing. Social isolation. Many migrants lack support networks, making it difficult for them to find assistance during crises. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Homeless Filipinos in Kuwait often experience severe hardships. Many live in overcrowded accommodations or temporary shelters provided by charitable organizations. Some may end up on the streets due to eviction or job loss, facing harsh conditions without access to basic necessities such as food and health care. Support systems and government initiatives. While Kuwait has made efforts to address issues related to migrant workers. NGO support. Various non-governmental organizations provide essential services such as food distribution and temporary shelter. Government programs. The Kuwaiti government has implemented some reforms aimed at improving labor conditions. However, enforcement remains inconsistent. Number 4. Canada. Current state of homelessness. Canada faces a significant homelessness crisis, with estimates suggesting that around 235,000 people experience homelessness annually. Recent reports indicate that the number of homeless individuals has surged due to rising housing costs and economic pressures. The 2020 to 2022 point-in-time count identified over 40,713 individuals experiencing homelessness across various communities, with a notable increase in unsheltered homelessness. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. High housing costs. The rising cost of living and insufficient affordable housing options have left many, including Filipinos, unable to secure stable accommodation. Economic challenges. Despite having one of the highest employment rates among immigrant groups at 74.2%, many Filipino workers earn low wages that do not keep pace with rising living costs. Social isolation. New immigrants often lack strong support networks, making it difficult for them to navigate social services or find assistance during crises. Legal status issues. Some undocumented migrants may avoid seeking help due to fear of deportation or legal repercussions. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Filipinos experiencing homelessness in Canada often face stigma and isolation. Many live in shelters or temporary accommodations provided by community organizations. Reports indicate that some may resort to living on the streets when they cannot find shelter or affordable housing. Support systems and government initiatives. The Canadian government has implemented various measures to address homelessness. National Housing Strategy. This initiative aims to reduce homelessness by increasing the availability of affordable housing. Community organizations. Numerous NGOs provide essential services such as food distribution and temporary shelter for those in need. Crisis intervention programs. Local governments offer emergency assistance programs aimed at preventing homelessness among vulnerable populations. Despite these efforts, challenges remain, particularly for undocumented migrants who may be reluctant to seek help due to their legal status. Number 3. United Arab Emirates. Current state of homelessness. The UAE has a diverse population with a significant number of expatriates, including approximately 700,000 Filipinos. While the country is known for its wealth and development, issues related to homelessness among migrant workers persist. The exact number of homeless individuals is difficult to determine. However, reports indicate that many expatriates live in precarious conditions. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Kafala system. The kafala sponsorship system ties workers' legal status to their employers, making it difficult for them to change jobs or leave abusive situations without risking deportation. Economic exploitation. Many Filipinos work in low-wage jobs and face delayed or unpaid wages, pushing them into precarious living situations. High cost of living. The high cost of living in cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi exacerbates the housing crisis for low-income workers who struggle to find affordable accommodation. Legal status issues. Undocumented migrants are especially vulnerable. They often lack access to social services and are at risk of arrest or deportation. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Homeless Filipinos in the UAE often experience severe hardships. Many live in labor camps or temporary accommodations provided by employers, while others may end up on the streets if they lose their jobs or face eviction from shared housing. Reports indicate that some homeless individuals resort to sleeping in public spaces or seeking refuge in mosques when they cannot find shelter. Support systems and government initiatives. The UAE government has introduced some labor reforms aimed at improving conditions for migrant workers. Labor reforms. Recent reforms have allowed workers more freedom to change jobs without employer permission. Community organizations. Various NGOs provide assistance through food programs and temporary shelters for those in need. Government programs. The UAE has launched initiatives aimed at providing affordable housing. However, these often do not specifically target migrant populations. Number 2. Saudi Arabia. Current state of homelessness. Saudi Arabia is home to a large number of migrant workers, with approximately 725,893 Filipinos residing there as of 2022. Despite its wealth, the country faces challenges related to homelessness among migrant workers. The exact number of homeless individuals is difficult to determine. However, reports indicate that many expatriates live in precarious conditions. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. Kafala system. The kafala sponsorship system ties workers' legal status to their employers, making it difficult for them to change jobs or leave abusive situations without risking deportation. This system can lead to exploitation and homelessness when workers lose their jobs. Economic exploitation. Many Filipinos work in low-wage jobs and face delayed or unpaid wages, pushing them into precarious living situations. High recruitment fees. Many migrants incur significant debt due to exorbitant recruitment fees paid to secure employment, which can lead to financial instability and homelessness. Lack of affordable housing. The high cost of living in urban areas exacerbates the housing crisis for low-income workers who struggle to find affordable accommodation. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Filipinos experiencing homelessness in Saudi Arabia often face stigma and isolation. Many live in labor camps or temporary accommodations provided by employers, while others may end up on the streets if they lose their jobs or face eviction from shared housing. Reports indicate that some homeless individuals resort to sleeping in public spaces or seeking refuge in mosques when they cannot find shelter. Support systems and government initiatives. The Saudi government has introduced some labor reforms aimed at improving conditions for migrant workers. Bilateral agreements. The Philippines and Saudi Arabia have entered into agreements aimed at protecting the rights of migrant domestic workers. Labor offices. The Philippine Overseas Labor Office, POLO, provides assistance for distressed OFWs facing issues such as unpaid salaries or abuse. Community organizations. Various NGOs provide assistance through food programs and temporary shelters for those in need. Despite these efforts, challenges remain, particularly for undocumented migrants who may be reluctant to seek help due to their legal status. Number 1. United States. Current state of homelessness. The United States faces a significant homelessness crisis, with estimates suggesting that around 650,000 people experience homelessness on any given night. Recent reports indicate that the number of homeless individuals has surged due to rising housing costs and economic pressures. Causes of homelessness among Filipinos. High housing costs. The rising cost of living and insufficient affordable housing options have left many, including Filipinos, unable to secure stable accommodation. Economic challenges. Many Filipino immigrants work in low-wage jobs that do not provide sufficient income to cover living expenses. Social isolation. New immigrants often lack strong support networks, making it difficult for them to navigate social services or find assistance during crises. Legal status issues. Some undocumented migrants may avoid seeking help due to fear of deportation or legal repercussions. Experiences of homeless Filipinos. Filipinos experiencing homelessness in the United States often face stigma and isolation. Many live in shelters or temporary accommodations provided by community organizations. Reports indicate that some may resort to living on the streets when they cannot find shelter or affordable housing. Support systems and government initiatives. The U.S. government has implemented various measures to address homelessness. Housing First initiatives. Programs focused on providing stable housing as a primary strategy for reducing homelessness. Community organizations. Numerous NGOs provide essential services such as food distribution and temporary shelter for those in need. Crisis intervention programs. Local governments offer emergency assistance programs aimed at preventing homelessness among vulnerable populations. Despite these efforts, challenges remain, particularly for undocumented migrants who may be reluctant to seek help due to their legal status. The conclusion. So, guys, this was the 10 countries with the most Filipino homeless abroad. Hope you will like it and appreciate it. The issue of homelessness among Filipinos in Singapore and Malaysia highlights the vulnerabilities faced by migrant communities in search of better opportunities. Addressing this challenge requires collaborative efforts from governments, NGOs, and community organizations to create sustainable solutions that ensure every individual has access to safe housing and support systems. By fostering an inclusive environment that prioritizes the needs of all residents, regardless of their background, both countries can work towards reducing homelessness effectively. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icons for latest upcoming travel videos. Bye-bye. See you.